Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Smells Like. I'm Josh. So good to see you. This is Fragrances of the Week from the throne, the Smells Like throne. This is the Smells Like throne. Tis not a game, nay. Tis a game of thrones. Let's jump right into fragrances of the week with Sampling Sunday. This week I went with Dunhill Icon Racing. I finished my decant and I still have my decant because I just keep smelling it. I like the smell of this. This is a very run-of-the-mill style of fragrance that we've smelled before. It's orange blossom and lavender. It kind of reminds you of fragrances like, actually it kind of reminds me of the YSL L'Homme Parfum Intense that I just did a review on like a week or two ago. Kind of sweet and also fresh, a little bit like bubblegummy. Kind of reminds me of that. Actually, it reminds me quite a bit of that. Also a little bit of fragrances like Invictus Aqua, Mont Blanc, Legend Spirit. So I don't know what's wrong with me that I'm thinking about getting a bottle of Dunhill Icon Racing. Like, why do I do this to myself? Why do I get stuck on these bubblegummy, crappy like designer fragrances? I get stuck on them and then I want to add them to my collection. I have all the other Dunhill Icon fragrances. I don't really wear any of those either though. I just know I'm gonna get a bottle of this and then it's just gonna sit on my shelf. I'm never gonna wear it. Why do I do this to myself? Why do I get these nickel and dime? Why do I do this? Pay these $50, $60 bottles, and I think it'd be fun to get that side of things too. But then I don't even touch them. I end up wearing my Chanel, but mostly my Chanel. I mostly end up wearing Chanel all the time. And then these weekly videos, I'm always showing you the same fragrances. So I don't know what's wrong with me, but all that said, I'll probably still get a bottle of that. On Monday, let's see, what day did I have off this week? Okay, had Monday off this week, last week I had Monday off, just like this week I had Monday off. And I decided to go with Parfums de Marly Layton. I feel like this is a good fragrance for days off when I'm wearing, dressed like this. Like, this is more how I dress on days off. When on days that I have to work, sometimes I wear a suit, sometimes I wear suit pants and a dress shirt and a blazer, suit separate type of stuff. Usually kind of on the more dressy side, but on my days off, I'm always going sweats and hoodies and jeans. I feel like Layton is a good fragrance for this type of outfit, like hoodie, jeans. This thing has been talked to death, I know, but I love the way it smells. It's got a brightness to it. It's got a warmth to it. It's got like a vanilla. It's got lavender. It's got mandarin orange. It kind of reminds me, and I think I'm the only person that's ever said this, of Chanel Allure Homme, the original Chanel Allure Homme, which I'm also a big fan of. This is like a niche quality version of that, I feel like. I'm always going to like this fragrance, but again, it's kind of, it's not the most highbrow thing ever, but the quality is there. It's super easy to wear, and a lot of people that I'm around in my life really like the way that this smells. And so for me, a fragrance that works when you're around people that aren't maybe into some of the more challenging fragrances that you enjoy wearing. It just smells good. It just really smells good. So that was on Monday. On Tuesday, I decided to dress up a fragrance that normally is known for being more of like a leisurely going out type of fragrance. I went with Jean Paul Gaultier's Ultra Male. Dressed this up, black suit. I think I wore like a purplish type of shirt with a black suit, black leather shoes. And I decided to rock this with it. And it actually really worked. I got a lot of compliments. I think that this is a fragrance, for one thing, Francis Kurkdjian is the perfumer on this. This is a fragrance that I think has a lot of quality to it. It has some uniqueness to it. It isn't quite as sweet, although it is pretty sweet, but it's not this like sweet bubblegummy thing that it gets known for. There's a lot going on in this fragrance, and I think one of the designer fragrances that is super popular and gets a lot of talk that's actually worthy of that talk. So Tuesday I went with Ultramale. Wednesday, I got a new fragrance in. This is a fragrance that I got kind of part of my spring fragrances that I'm trying to get in right now from the House of Guerlain from the Acqua Allegoria line. This is Erba Fresca. Really cool bottle, super nice. This is a tester, which I didn't even know I was ordering a tester when I ordered it, but at least it came with a cap in it. Looks nice, but it did come in a tester box, but I think I only paid like $28 or something for this, and this is a really high quality, really well done fragrance, although it is based around this spearmint note that when you first spray it, it's like Wrigley's spearmint gum and Aquafresh toothpaste. It's so minty that it's like, at first it almost turns you off. But when this fragrance dries down, it's really green. It's meant to be like the smell of fresh cut grass in the springtime. And it dries down into a really beautiful, light, sort of green tea, green grassy, and mint type fragrance. Really like this one, although, I would say this is one you kind of have to get to know a little bit, I think, to appreciate, because that mint note is like, boom, punch you in the face when you first spray it. Also, so great spring fragrance, great work fragrance. On Thursday, I went with Prada Amber Pour Homme. I've had a resurgence with this one this spring. I had ignored this for a long time, and just recently, I was checking out Prada L'Homme as getting it as a fragrance to wear to work. And I came back across Prada Amber Pour Homme, and I was just like, this is just such a better fragrance than Prada L'Homme. There's just a lot more going on here. It's soapy. It also has like a slight fougere green kind of barbershop-y vibe, just slightly soapy, barbershop-y a little bit. There's also some warmth to it. There's some resins in here. It's beautiful, and I was surprised at how many compliments I got with this. Again, dressed up, wearing this. I put on a lot of it, and so people could really smell it on me, but I didn't get anybody that didn't like it. Everybody could really smell it on me, and everybody also seemed to really enjoy the way that it smelled on me. And I think maybe I'm gonna do like a work fragrances video, like my top fragrances to wear to work or to wear to the office, because I think I have a pretty good little list. So a little bit of a preview of a couple that might be on that list. And this next one also could be on that list. Let's look at what I wore on Friday. On Friday, I wore Chanel Sycamore Eau de Parfum from the Les Exclusives de Chanel. I think I've had this fragrance in every weekly Fragrance of the Week video since I got it. I know I have just won't shut up about this fragrance, but I just love it so much. It's a good office fragrance. It's like a high-end luxe version of a daily driver or like a signature scent. I think if I had a signature scent, this would probably be like my luxe signature scent. Bleu de Chanel would be like my regular signature, and then my kind of like high-end signature would definitely be Sycamore at this point. I love wearing this a little bit dressed up, but I'll wear it anytime, and especially now that the weather's starting to change, we're starting to get into a little bit of warmer spring-like weather. The vetiver in this is kind of smoky vetiver, earthy and grassy. All of that with a lot of brightness as well. Pink pepper and aldehydes give this a lot of light, a lot of brightness. This is just like the perfect luxe spring signature scent. I just absolutely love it. Sycamore from Chanel. You're going to be seeing more. I mean, it's not going anywhere for me. I'm going to wear this fragrance any chance that I get until something else comes along that wows me in the way that this does. So let's go ahead and wrap things up with Saturday. Saturday was a work day for me, and I decided to go with a fragrance that I hadn't touched in quite some time that I really do still appreciate from Dior. This is Sauvage Eau de Parfum. So for me, the Eau de Parfum version of Sauvage, I like it a little bit better than the Eau de Toilette just because it's a little bit less sharp and in your face. It's mellower, it's smoother. I feel like it's a little bit more, has a little bit more of a crowd pleaser edge to it. It also has a little bit more of a mature feel, just slightly more mature, slightly more refined, slightly more rounded version of Sauvage. And I feel like with my age and just especially wearing to work, kind of dressed up, this fragrance really works in those situations where I just need something that smells good and people pleasing. You know, with my job, sometimes I have to go with something that's inoffensive and people pleasing and just kind of shows that I'm wearing fragrance, I'm into fragrance, but you know, I'm not trying to show off or anything like that. And Sauvage EDP it just is a good one for that. I love the way that this smells. One of these days I'll do a video about this whole diatribe that I have on how Sauvage is sort of like the fragrance of this generation. It kind of like represents a lot about the times. And I think Dior Sauvage kind of represents a lot of our current time period. It's sort of the fragrance of now. I think in 20 years, when we smell Sauvage, we're gonna be like, oh man, that really reminds me of you know, the teens. This is the fragrance of the teens. It just is, in my opinion. So that's it. Like I said, stay tuned this week. I'm gonna do top work and office fragrances, and I've got coming up for you my top 10 spring designer list, and then I may even have some other spring related stuff. So that's all coming up soon. I will be trying to post a little bit more than I have been. We'll still be coming out with the weekly episodes of this Fragrances of the Week, as well as maybe like one other video. So I'm trying to do 2 videos a week right now. Really appreciate everybody watching. I'd love to hear from you in the comments, your fragrances that you wore this week. Kind of an eclectic group. I've got some like mainstream stuff and then like some not so mainstream stuff. What am I gonna do about this? Am I gonna order a bottle of Dunhill Icon Racing when I could put that money towards like a Frederick Mall or another Chanel exclusive? You know, like, am I really gonna I don't know. That's it.